Hello neighbors, I'm hoping we can work on a little enlightenment this week. We have a problem we need to be aware of and do something about. It's foggy right now, but we've really enjoyed some summer-like temperatures recently. Unfortunately, we didn't get enough rain last winter and we are in a drought.
Our levels at Lake Lopez are low. The amount of state water that we get imported is reduced. We're at 5% of what we normally would get. So that's being restricted because Sacramento isn't seeing the water that they normally get. Our groundwater basin, we want to protect it for years to come because what we don't want, if we keep pumping, is salt water is going to come into our aquifer, making it unusable.
So we need to ramp up our conservation consciousness once again.
Right now, if all of the current projections continue, if we don't have a wet year, if we don't have changes in conservation, potentially in 2024, we run out of water.
Now, hopefully we don't get there, but we can't assume we won't. So the city has implemented some water conservation measures and some incentives to get you on the bandwagon. Let's start with what you have to do first. We all need to dial back our outdoor water use. You have to reset your irrigation timers so all watering happens after 4 in the afternoon and before 10 in the morning. We're all doing a pretty good job at that, but the days you can now water are restricted. If your address is an even number, you can water on Mondays and Thursdays. If your address is an odd number, water on Tuesdays and Fridays.
So if you're used to watering 4 days a week, yes, we are going to have you cut back to 2 days a week at this time. And that goes for our parks as well. So you're going to start seeing the landscaping in the parks may not be as brilliantly green as it is right now.
And check your irrigation equipment. If one little part is broken, you may not realize how much water is going right down the drain.
A lot of times little heads on the end of the drip irrigation system come off over time, and it's just as simple as putting them right back on, and you're going to save gallons of water. We know that one of the things that people have done is to irrigate their landscaping in the middle of the night or early morning. Well, now we're not seeing when there's a sprinkler head that's going, and all that water is going down the sidewalk into the curb and gutter and ending in the ocean.
I saw some of that on my morning walk this morning, and I won't bust any of my neighbors, but let's all check because it is a drag to see any kind of runoff when we're in a situation like the one we find ourselves in now. And speaking of, if you're using a hose, get a handle on it. Some sort of handheld device that has a shutoff nozzle is mandatory now. And leave the cleaning of sidewalks and gutters to city street sweepers. In other words, don't hose down your sidewalks. Right now, the city is just making an ask, but if you continue to be a water waster, expect a warning and then increasing fines for each violation. Now, if you're into landscaping and you just hate the thought of a suffering lawn, you may want to consider making the move to a drought-tolerant landscape. And if you are, the city has some incentives.
We will give you a rebate for every square foot of grass that you take out and you put in artificial turf or you put in other drought-tolerant landscaping.
And if you have outdated plumbing, you're flushing not only water, but money down the drain.
So we'll give you $100 as a rebate when you install a new high-efficiency toilet.
And recommitting ourselves to these better practices not only keeps our water supplies up, but our water bills down.
The biggest one is shutting off your water when you're brushing your teeth.
And maybe just shave a little time off all our bathing rituals.
We're not telling people don't take a 15-minute shower and go to a 2-minute shower. We're telling people maybe take 1 minute less or install a different shower head that reduces the amount of water that comes through.
You get the drill. We have all been here before. But the last time we raised our water conservation awareness, we lowered our consumption big time.
In 2015, our baseline year, we used 2,100 acre-feet of water. At the end of the drought, we were using 1,600 acre-feet. This last year, we used 1,700 acre-feet. So we are inching back up.
If we can do what we did before, about 500 acre-feet of water, that's about 16 million gallons of water.
That's enough for 3 months of water for the entire city in a year.
So let's get with the program, neighbors, and heighten our awareness. It's a small price to pay to invest in the ability to live here and have water come out of the tap when we turn it on.
We're not asking for people to fundamentally change the quality of life. it's a reminder, if anything, of the little things that we do and that the little things that we do add up.
See you next time.